Hey! Welcome! This is a recorded session from Twitch. It will be a very long video, and that's why I put timestamp in the description, just down below, to help you to jump and go directly to the part that interests you. To know exactly when I'm streaming, go visit twitch.tv/fboucheros. The link is also in the description. But for now, let's watch this session. Hello! Welcome to the stream. I'm Frank Boucher and this is my playground. For the next 2 hours or maybe 3, we'll be working together on this budget-friendly URL shortener that we started 3 weeks ago. And I think today we'll have something that you will be able to start using. In fact, you can already start using that thing. It's just that we'll have a simple interface to interact, or at least documentation. And today I want to, yes, push that simple interface that we built, but I want to make it clear so you can add an interface that you're happy with it. So today I want to give some structure in the GitHub repository so you can add more admin web page, because maybe, like, you know, having me building it on stream, it's not fast enough for you, so that way you will be able to add more. I think it will be a better way this way. Also, so I am part of the live coders, and just here there's an event coming. I forgot the date. What's the date again? Oh, it's so tiny. Oh, you know what? Now I see it. It's April 9. So on the 9th of April, there's a virtual event. Fantastic lineup of people. Go subscribe. It's free. Thank you, DBD Gamer. Oh, Fragbar is also there. Bonjour. A lot of people this morning. That's cool. Probably because I start to be regular, right? Twice a week, I'm there. Less traveling. It's much easier when you're always in the same time zone. Hey, nothing else matter. How are you? I'm stuck in Latvia. No plane, no border. Today I got to say hello to Saracens at Latvia. Latvia? Where is that? Oh. It's close to the Canadian border? For that beautiful voice. Now you make me, you will make me blush. Just to see, because I always start with my mic muted. I'm sure it's because of that. Just, you know, okay, Frank, check. He's alive. We can hear him. Damn it. I want to show you something today. Yeah. We're not allowed to be in group. Like, I think it's a family. Like, they will let it happen. A group of more of 2. But yeah, like, they don't want people to make agglomeration together all together. So like, it's very, every day I take a walk or run or something like that. It's a mix between. I cannot run yet. I'm still working on my knees, and people change side of the street and stuff like that. So it's pretty good. I still saw some strange things, like kids playing in a park, but some park has the yellow tape. So like saying you shouldn't go there just to help. I think more for kids, because kids sometimes they think it's not for them or something like that. But yeah, no, it's kind of true. Yeah, it is. It is hard. But you know, even at the grocery, people wait in line, like with far from each other. Like it's. I think, like, now we're close to 2 weeks now, and I think people start to understand that it is serious. So, okay, let me just show you something, because I don't have a fancy chat bot like all the others, right? But I want to give you some tips, and now I see it will be a me and me and me. So I want just to give you a little hint of how you can communicate or interact. Of course, you have the chat. Please feel free to always ask questions if you don't know, if you don't understand my super great accent. Who was Fragbird was saying just for my voice? Sure, it's making fun of my nice accent also. Though I don't care. I will leave. I live with it. I live with it without any problem. I just want to show you. Oh, did I start my tool? I didn't. Let's start this tool. And while bing, bing, bada boing, bada bang, boom. So now it should work. Yep. So the thing I want to show you is this thing here. It should appear when you mouse over, and if you click on it, it will show you different things, and you will be able to send some sound notification. So there's 2 pages. I had a few more this morning. That's what I was doing just before the stream start. So you can click that until I had a bot to the chat. I'm really looking forward to it. It's just I never did that, so it will be a nice adventure. I think I will need help, so I just need to find someone who can help me build one or use one or customize one. And I would like to have it in C# because if it's in JavaScript, it will be, I'm not sure. I think it will be easier if it's in C#, though I understand JavaScript. TBD gamers, just catching up on the chat. Okay, so now I should close that because it's very annoying. I don't know how you do that, guys. Looking at my face like that. Oh, I'm frozen? Am I frozen? Am I frozen? Let's try to change scene, see if it fixes things. Nope. And I have a very nice look on that thing. So you still can hear me though. Okay, so let's go in here. Let's go in properties. Oh, look like it's the app. Let me shut it down. Okay, should be back now. I don't know what happened. Okay, so let me catch up on the chat. Thank you, thank you. So who understood that? It was by Code Council. Excellent choice. Okay, so let's catch up on the chat. It was TBD Gamer who was saying something. Okay, a lot of adults think it's not for them. Yeah, it's true though. But I think most of the adults right now understand that it's not a joke. Or at least in Canada, or like, let's say in my area. I saw very, very strange thing on YouTube. There's a YouTuber that I really like, a young woman called Sarah Dici. It rhymes with Peachy. That's her mojo, her line. And she was last Saturday. She was going through New York, and people, they had a market, fruit market in the park, and everybody was, you know, close to each other, touching to the food and talking, and I was like, what? Anyway, but here I didn't see that. There's a lot of, well, we're not, I won't say anything. Maybe it's just my area. Fragbear saying, Frank, I'm just here for that. No, I read that. Damn, like my chat move. No, well, I troll in a lot of way, but I made a point. Fragbert, no worries. Like, I was just also messing with you, trolling while I've been trolled, so that's fine. Don't worry about that. So for nothing else matter. Yeah, this morning I just catch half the story on the radio news. I was trying to. I woke up a little bit later today, and I miss the every morning. That's how I, you know, it's a condensed update of the situation. And I missed the part they were talking to someone at the border, so there's something happening at the border, but I didn't catch exactly what it was. But yeah, some people, and they were also complaining because so here winter is like, it's a real winter, it's go very cold, like minus 30 Celsius, though this winter we didn't have real cold temperature. We have a lot of snow and things like that, so not a lot, but a few of Canadian, or at least Quebecois, so east part of the Canada, go south in US. They go to the beach, they go to Florida and things like that, and we call them snowbird, I think, coldbird, snowbird. Anyway, they migrate to the south for the winter, the cold period, and now that when they are coming back, and that's what they were talking on the radio, when they are coming back, they don't take the quarantine time as like seriously, and I just think it's because they were not exposed. Though they should have been exposed in Florida and like crossing the border, like they should catch it was really serious. But apparently like someone has his big Harvey, like the big truck, like the house truck, parked in the grocery and was just going to the grocery. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. So I don't know. Code Council, they are going to start charging people that violate the social distancing rules. I heard that around in the Montreal area, if people are not respecting that, yes, they will have, what's the word? They will have some, I forgot, like a paper that, you know, say, okay, I get you in, or something like that. You'll have like some consequence now if you're not respecting stuff. And apparently if you have a dog, you cannot go very far from your dog, like a few meters from your house and stuff like that. There's numbers. There's a lot of rules that just apply. I think it's all makes sense. And like, it's kind of sad that people need those, you know, as a guidance, like, oh, should I do that? Like, you know, just thinking, oh, like, because sometimes the first time at least you could, you know, like you're walking your dog trying to do it, I don't know, like, but like it should be just a guidance. Like, you shouldn't be, oh no, I can't do it because it's not a rule yet. I don't know, I feel like sometime, anyway. Also, but border between Canada and US are closed, but you should be able to go in your country. So are you a Canadian, nothing else matters, or you are a US citizen? Or maybe you're not one of those. Yeah, so like, that's been a little while that you, like, if you're a US citizen, you cannot come in Canada. That's been at least for a week, if it's not a week and a half. I would say that Canada and Quebec has been very proactive taking measure. We see what happened with Italy, and we say if we don't do anything, that's where we go. And for that, they're trying to take, they are trying to plan. So we're already building big clinic in open. Like, that was pretty cool. I thought that was very smart. So we have a place in Montreal. It's the old Montreal, and it's very touristic, of course. And you have a lot of space over there because in the old times it was a boat port. So there's a lot of spaces. So they build a clinic outside with, you know, tent. The tent are kept warm and everything, but then you have plenty of place to be waiting and things like that, but without too much proximity. So they are already building that thing, and apparently they are able to pass 1,000 people the test every day and something like that. So we are already taking a lot of measure, and if you look at that in Quebec, we don't have a lot of case yet, though I didn't check the number today, and the number is growing every day very fast still. But I think like we're taking good measure. I think it's a good sign. But we'll get hit like everybody. We're already getting hit, right? Snowbird. Okay, so I was okay. Snowbird. Thank you, Code Stencil. Sorry if I scrap your name a few times. Find. So TPD Gamer, I think it's a good idea to charge people a fine. Yeah, like have an impact. Like, people just for $5 will do things or not do things a lot. Like when I do, like I'm part of a community group in Montreal, and we charge $5 for coming. You know, when you want to reserve, saying you're taking a seat to go to an event, we're charged $5. When you come, we'll refund you, or you know, it will be like $2, and we'll give it to wow, my English is farted. I don't know what happened, but we'll give it away. The goal of that is just so people just don't do yes, and then we lock the subscription, and some people who are really interested won't be able to get in. So stupid fee, but people because of that will decide, no, they will think that they will take the time to think. It's just, and making money and like part of the process force people to think, and most of the time that's just what you need, right? You just need to think for 2 seconds and you realize, oh yeah, I shouldn't be doing that, or I should do that. People stop moving around. This thing, and we can get back to normal. The longer people are treading this, like, it's not a rule. Yep, you're right, TBD Gamer, totally right. Like, if everybody was taking that seriously in 2 weeks, let's say in 3 weeks, you know, because there's some exception, like there's people who need to transgress those rules because maybe you are moving, or like, you know, like your house, I mean. So there's very specific situation, but like, yeah, like the impact if everybody was respecting those rules would be so great. So nothing else matters says, but I am Ringa Latavia in Ringa. Okay, you know what? I don't know where it is, so let's sounds far away. Ah, Latvia, okay. Where is that? Lithuania? You know what? I think it's just because I didn't know. How can I switch that in French? I don't know that country. Lithuania? No, that's Lithuania. Latvia? Okay, well, that sucks then that you're stuck over there. You're trying to return to USA. So the Canadian NATO troops trying also. Okay, so a lot of people, but no jets coming, and we cannot leave Latvia, except by airplane to USA or Canada. But we are good spirit so far. We are all safe. I wish you and everyone in the room a safety. You too, dude. Like, it should be really hard to be far from home. I hope you have all the support, like mental support, also over there. I have one friend. His wife is coming from another country, and his visa was extended, I think, to June or something like that. So like that's nice for her. Like, you know, because otherwise the traveling part was exceptional. But if you're right now you're not at home and you just want to go back at home, that's not cool. So Fragbird, okay. Okay, code stencil. So Westmount. So I don't live in Montreal. Just say Montreal to keep it easy. I live on Île Perrot. So it's west of Montreal is an island, everybody. So it's part of so we have Canada, and then if I go this way, does it make sense for you this way? Anyway, in east of Canada, you have the province called Quebec, and then in Quebec you have the city Montreal, and Montreal is an island. I live west of Montreal in a smaller island called Île Perrot. So going to your, let's say where you're living in Westmount will take me 45 minutes probably. Without traffic. Or maybe half an hour. Half an hour. If, you know, if I'm lucky. Words are definitely hard. Definitely. I try to get better. I try to add more vocabulary also. I've not been good these days. Usually I try to read like books. I read a lot. I read technical stuff a lot. But I'm trying to get back to reading like books, novel, polar, you know, whatever, to learn new vocabulary. I have way more vocabulary in French. So sometime in English, I'm always scared to be a little bit rough, too direct or things like that. And a lot of time, even like when people chat with me, I will go straight to the point, cut kind of the small talk, just because it's harder for me. Or like I'm scared to not be appropriate or rude or whatever. So sometimes I'm straight to the point because of that. But I'm still nice. I try to be nice. Okay, blah blah blah. Yeah, okay. Well, Finland. just before I was in Switzerland when when it all started. Like, not when it all started, but like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, no, like, anyway, recently I was in Switzerland, and the event I was going for, Ignite the Tour, over there, and it was cancelled because of the coronavirus. So the next day I came back to Canada, and like it was starting to be crazy. And this morning at the radio they were talking about in Italy an event that apparently was the epicenter of all that what happened, and was a soccer game. And it was they were mentioning that it was earlier at the beginning of the year, like February, beginning of February, and I was like, whoops, I was there at the beginning of the year. I watched a football game, and it was like a lot of people and stuff like that. It was the final, and I was like, but I was there in January, and they were talking about a match in February, and I was like, oh, okay, it's not me then. But it got me worried for a little while. So Fragber say, my only knowledge of Montreal is that my wife used to work for a BMO, so Bank of Montreal, Aris Bank, and they are based there. Yeah, BMO is for Bank of Montreal. So a Bank Montreal office, bank. Oh, I always thought it was Bank of Montreal, BMO. Banque Montréal. I forgot what it was. I thought it was Bank of Montreal. Anyway, yep. But I'm sure the M is for Montreal in that name. Anyway. Well, it's a very nice place, but like everywhere else these days, yeah. Well, though there's not a lot of tourists right now, so like you no line up, no nothing. Good price on everything, I'm sure. Oh, does the gas is cheaper in your area? The gas here is close to half the price, I think. Not half, but like close, like a huge drop, like huge. Yep, it's not in my area, but it's in Canada. They're just for laugh. There's a big festival in summer. Montreal is wonderful because there's festival after festival after festival. So it's not only like one festival and it's a party for 2 weeks or 1 week. Is a festival of festivals in summer here. So they close the street, so a few streets are closed, and there's jazz, food, beer, like bunch of tech stuff, the lot or haha or whatever. I forgot one that is very popular. Not in Montreal, there's the country one, but that's not in Montreal, that's a little city. There's tons of festival. Yeah, exactly. So it's cheaper for you too, huh? So it's pretty crazy. Oh, because we have a lot of TV studio, so where they go, it's also close to the festival. So yeah, like there's a TV show coming from Montreal, and yeah. How about we start working a little bit? Yeah. I didn't know they have a YouTube channel. No, it's good, I think, to vent everyone, even for you and for me. Like, and I don't mind the chatting. But it could be cool to code a little bit. I was planning to add some floating cloud.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
And Copper Birdie do his entry. I don't have fancy glowing sunflower for you, but you know that's your entry now, right? Every time I think you get in. Welcome to the stream, Copper Birdie. So let's zoom a little bit this thing. Boom, boom. So the project of today, if you're new, though I don't think a lot of you are, but just in case, it's the Azure URL Shortener. So the idea, just doing a quick recap for the first, if it's your first time. So the quick recap is Azure URL Shortener, or azUrl Shortener, the name of the project. It's an open source project. It's in GitHub. I dropped the link in the chat. It will be in the description on when an archive on YouTube. I want that project to be budget friendly. I want it to be super easy to deploy. So right now, to deploy, you just click on this button here. It will open your Azure subscription. You will have to enter a few questions like the name and where you want it. I describe here what you should enter, like making suggestions. Of course, you are free to do what you want. And then it will create a few resources for you. And then you could just start using it. What I want to do today is, right now that will deploy kind of the backend, and that's cool. I think now that work, like you can create URL, short URL, and you could use them. But now we don't have interface to create those things. So what I want to do is, on the GitHub, I want to add a section. And I want to be able to add multiple repo. So for example, if you go in source, although I started in the feature branch. So let's go in feature branch. I could show you what I did start. Did we start that on stream? I think on the last stream I started doing that. Anyway. So what I want to do here is add a section. So here I have the shortener tool, that's the Azure page, and I have the admin tool, and I want to go in the admin tool, and I would like to have first a page here that describe that list all the admin tool available and explain how you could add your own. So for example, now I have an admin Blazor website. So I would like to have a folder Azure website and then explain how to install that. So if I'm not comfortable with .NET, I would like something very light. Maybe I want to know how to use Postman to use it. Then I will have admin tools, Postman, and I will have a README say, okay, this is how you should do it. So I want to add a section so I could have many different interface. You could add, if you want, whatever with the tech. So you're good in Python, you go in JavaScript, Node, Angular, whatever. So you could add your own interface, and we're all using the same backend. So like if you're not comfortable playing with Azure for the functions, then it will be easier. I think that's a good idea, and that was my plan for today. So I hope you like it, because that's my plan for today. And you know what? I was doing a bunch of stuff, but I forgot to start my notes. So let's just take a template, and we'll close all the others, and we'll make one for today. So we are the 3rd and we are the 27th. Wow, the month passed super fast. Right, I should keep it open because I think I have some this And the primary goal of today is add some structure and guidance guidance. Cool. To add interface, admin interfaces, and we'll go here, change the date for 27. And we are ready. Ready. Cool. So that's the plan. So chit chat, that's what we did. The main part, like I need to find a way also to use the auto stamp. I think it's Clarkio who have something like that. Where did I see my? Why don't I? Okay, it's here. Like that, add some timestamp or something like that. That part generating that thing, it's long. It's very consuming. So let me show you just a recap of what we did create. Maybe. So I have multiple projects, so let me explain the color. So here, that's the I always keep it anyway, that Visual Studio. That's my notes. All the notes are published. My nose is fine, but so I have a project on GitHub, and all the streams are listed there. So usually by project, and also if you go in journals, you have all the streams. And if I'm not mistaken, today is the 83. No, it's not true. 4 or 5, some 4. I forgot the name, the number. I should keep track of that. But yeah, getting closer and closer to my 100 stream. That's crazy. That's really crazy. Forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, I want to show you. So the purple one is the notes, the Twitch. The blue one, that's the full project. Like if you clone the repo, that's the full project with everything, right? So inside of it, you have the deployment tools, you have the media with some screenshot image that I use. You have the source code structure. We'll play with that in a few seconds, few minutes, few seconds, soon. And like bunch of stuff. Yeah, and then Visual Studio Code work better, if I just say works, when you are at the root. So if I'm working for functions, I will open a project for function and like the root level of that Visual Studio. That's why I have multiple Visual Studio, because otherwise it will be funky. If I was in the big Visual Studio IDE, it's easier, you specify what you want, but in Visual Studio Code, that doesn't work like that. And why I'm not using Visual Studio IDE, I don't know. I was planning to, in fact, I know, I was planning to use Linux, and I have my new laptop, and I was planning to install Linux and just work in Linux and stuff like that. But doesn't work well with the 4K resolution and a bunch of stuff. So I decided to still have Windows and use heavily WSL2 and Docker with WSL2 in the background, because that on that machine I use the faster ring. I forgot the like the Windows developer, so not the like the preview kind of build, but for this machine I don't want that, so I don't have WSL2, but it's coming, I think, very soon. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I saw a post from Scott and Simon, I think, and they were announcing it's coming soon. So as soon as that appear, I will move a lot of stuff on the Linux side. And the reason I want to do that is not because I'm good at Linux, it's because I want to learn it, but also because I want to walk the talk a little bit more. The .NET part is supposed to be working perfectly on Linux, and the main point of going Linux, that was why I want it, and why I'm not doing it, because initially I was doing it in a VM, but creating a VM, it was the remote desktop that was not fun, and I couldn't do, my favorite distribution is not Ubuntu, and doing like a remote desktop. No, I was using the tool, the Hyper-V tool, to create the VM and then connect to it with a good speed. It's working well on Ubuntu, though it's a little bit complex. You have a lot of layers to, because you need to create the VM and then kind of reshape it to add more storage. So that's why for a while I was streaming from Linux VM, but now I'm back on Windows. Anyway, so yeah, so this, I don't know, old pink, I don't know how you call that color. I like it though. That's my Blazor web project, and it's working right now. Like, it's very ugly. There's a bunch of code that are commented because I know I will need something similar to that, so I copy paste. I need to have something cleaner, but what it does right now is, let's run it. Hot pink? Hot pink? Hot pink, I will think more like Barbie. That was more like old pink, right? You think grandma pink? She will be wearing something like that. If you think like a little girl, 5 years old, that would be hot pink. That would be like kind of a Barbie pink, or Well, I like your suggestion. Code Console, thank you. Okay, so you seem to be an expert in pink. Well, I have a daughter that loves so much the pink when she was younger that her mother, who hates pink, start loving pink because of her. And I had pink shirt and stuff like that. I like pink also. I had no problem with pink. But my daughter, when she was younger, she really liked pink. These days, less. But she's a teenager now, so yeah. So I just create this, so like very basic interface. In fact, I didn't touch it. I want some security, so we still can see it, right? Let's zoom that thing also. So I'm still planning to use some security because that's an admin page, so I think we should. Right now I have nothing set yet. What I did is, here I have the URL, so if I click on that, it generates an error. Oh, because... yeah, Frank, come on. You're better than that. That's my mistake. And because I was pushing stuff, and I thought, oh, I need to not. Oh yeah, but if I do this. Ouch, pink. I like that. Good idea. Yeah, so that's the thing I want. So let's take the name of that, put it there. I need to also find a better way to read the documentation. It's not clear for me how to do it. I need to spend time. Even yesterday I was watching, oh, I don't know if he archived it. I was watching Carl Franklin's. He was doing a kind of a class on Blazor. It was awesome, and Danielle Root was also part of the chat. Oh, surely the viewer was there. Are you still on the here? Sure. I don't know if you saw that. It was awesome, but I was really tired and I had some, you know, I need to be socializing inside my house. It was really good, but I was not able to follow very well. So hopefully it's still available and we'll be able to watch it this weekend. And otherwise, I think I need a book or I need something and do stupid, simple stuff to understand. Because right now, I'm hacking through it, but I there's a lot of gap in my understanding. That's why I wanted to do it, but at the same time, I feel guilty because I miss a lot of stuff. So, and I don't have anybody with me. Like if someone is interested to co-host and kind of teach me to build that thing, like that interface, following the best practices and stuff like that, I will be willing to have it. It will be cool. Okay, so now it's calling the one that I'm not tracking in GitHub. So let's rerun. Should work now. So what I did is just I'm listing the URL. So if you click here, it should work. So it's calling the Azure Function. We don't have anything yet now to keep the Azure Function always alive. So that's why it took a little bit of time. So now it's working also. Right now I don't manipulate too much the result. So like, you know, you see the name, like it's just like the key. It could be cool to have like the short version of the URL. But yeah, so that work, and the way works, sorry. So the way it works is I created a URL Razor page. Let's close this console. So right now is super basic. So I use I did a URL shortener service. Let's zoom. We'll get there later, but then like that will populate a URL list. That's an object I create. We'll loop through the URL inside the URL list and just write it down, right? Very simple. You can teach me the worst practice. Though it would be cool to do any collab together, Copper Birdie. We need to find something. That would be cool. I would love to have a stream with you, on your stream, on my stream, whatever. That could, yeah, it will be fun. So like the code is very simple right now. And at the beginning, I did start to play with WebAssembly because that was my first intention. I had a really hard time to understand how it works. The debugging part was hard. I think, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday the .NET team announced that the debugging should be supported now or something like that, like a new release. So I don't know when that new release is. Like, was it yesterday? Is it today? Is it next week? Like, Carl Franklin yesterday say that the .NET team announced something. So that's cool, because that was my initial plan. Because if I can do something in WebAssembly, then it could go in storage. So it's very low cost. This website, you could host it locally on your machine. You could go. My plan is to use it in the same service plan in Azure. So I already have like a little blog and stuff like that. So we'll put that thing there. so it will share the same resource. I don't really matter, like it's not like my blog is attracting a lot of views, like it's not ramping up like crazy. So sharing that admin tool that I will not be using a lot of time, and I will be the only user, I think. So sharing those resources makes sense. So that's why I thought, yeah, I will do a website. A little bit easier for me right now. And even MVC would have been probably much easier than using that structure right now that I'm struggling with. Anyway, so let's jump quickly into the code. So this is my service. So I created a place where I go grab the configuration. I should go back to this thing. Oh, and I should probably add that to the projects. Anyway, after, let's remember. We need to check in the project to make sure that that file is on the server side. Then what I do is get the URL. So I just get the URL, get the list URLs, get URL list URL. Yeah, okay. Get the URL of the oh. Yeah, that's not good. Now I change it. Get URL list. Yes, that's better. Yes, because initially I was planning to get the URL and do the function here, but it was more complicated. But I think in the future I should do that, something like that. But anyway, so get the URL list. So just grab the URL from the config. And then what I do is I create a HTTP client, do a request. It's a get with the URL, get the input, parse it as a URL list. That URL list is just a simple object with the list of type URL, a short URL. That object only have, like, you know what, let's jump into it. Can I do that? Yeah. So see, that's the list, very simple, and that's entity. That's right now, and that's why I have like a bunch of stuff I'm not using. That's the class we created for the Azure Function. So one thing also I would like to do is maybe refactor the code, so even for Azure Function I could use a DLL and like a share place, and that thing could be also used here. I think that could be cool. Though if I do that, then you'll have the code and you could bypass the Azure Function. And I think I don't want that. Yeah. So I think I won't do it. But the code, like that entity is mostly the same. Though not really. See, I don't have a constructor. Well, we'll see, because right now the interface is pretty stupid. Like I need now to be able to create one, to edit one, to delete one. We will need to do much more. Okay, so let's just do fix typo here. Push that. So that's the work I had done. Should close that, it's not running anymore. So right now that's in the branch feature admit Blazor website. But I would like to add structure and guidance, like I was saying. So I want to create a new branch from master. We'll add the stuff and then we'll merge that branch to this, so when we push we'll have a better example. So for that we'll work from the main, and we should so let's add a to-do. So List the available interface. Let's put it like this. Oh. Why it's not showing up? List the available in admin interfaces. There it is. Just do that here. Move the Postman example as one interface. Provide a template, interface template. Like folder and file structure. What else? I think that's good, right? List the available interface. Oh. Of course, we need to have an entry point. So refer the interface list from the main README. I think that's cool. And then add the yeah, what I will do is instead of creating feature, it will be interface. So working on a new interface. So adapt and move to the new structure. New branch. Cool. Labels. Cool. So let's start doing that. Okay, so that's the project I want. So just let's close this, just have a little bit less stuff open. So now what I would like is in the admin tool folder, right? I want a README. So that's the page. Here I want not a folder. Oh yeah, I want a folder because I will create the postman thing. But I want a README. So we want the list at the top. We should have like something here that explains the page. Right? So there is many there's many different ways to call those Azure functions. I don't know what to say. There's many different ways to call the Azure function, from direct API HTTP call to a fancy interface, web page, website. Does that make sense? So you just deploy the Azure, the azUrlShortener URL backend, the Azure Function, S, and now, comma maybe, and now you would like to be able to create links. Should do URL. There is many different ways to call those Azure functions, from a direct HTTP call to a fancy website. Here you will find a list of all the available interfaces with the instruction to deploy and use them. That makes sense. Yeah. I think in the main I was struggling to explain what it was, and it was an API tester, I think. API testing tool. Fragbird is saying, like, so for the first time in 20 years of wearing glasses, I wore them in the shower. That's a different experience.
Fantastic! Oh, fantastic!
I did that so many times when I was younger, but it's been a while since I did that. Pretty cool. Well, now they are coronavirus free. Okay, hey, thanks for the following, Code Show. Looking forward to see you in the chat. We're building URL shortener, and right now I'm adding some documentation because we have the backend of our URL shortener, and I want people to add as many interface as they like, because I prefer C#, but maybe you prefer, I don't know, JavaScript, so or Ruby or whatever, so you could add your own interface and share it. So I want to have a structure, so like it felt like a hall. So you have what's the word I'm looking for? Consistency. Python, yeah, you could do Python. Exactly. I would love to learn Python, but apparently there's only 24 hours in a day, and you cannot cheat. In the real life, I mean, I know InstaFluff is creating a super cheat for if you do a play at Stardew Valley, where you could froze the time and do things like that. But in real life, there's no hack, and I need to make some choices, and Python didn't make it. But I really think it's a cool language, though. Yeah, Rust will be cool too. And Brian will be, like one of my colleague will be super happy. I'm sure you could jump on it. Ah, cool. On Tuesday and Thursday, maybe I could watch your stream on. But that's the thing, like, yeah, I cannot. Yeah, maybe I will lurk for a little bit. I don't want to get too attached to both Rust and Python, because I know I won't be able to make the time. I barely find the time to do the .NET. So okay. So simple use of the API to sync Postman to call the Azure Function. I think it would be cool if, like, when you have all those, because that's one, like, it's not like a team, but I think it's cool if you have, like, the name of that thing should be a link, I think. A short description, and then like a screenshot. So if you have multiple interface, you already have like a look. So I think it would be cool to have some screenshot here. So if I want a screenshot, it means in that folder here I should add a media. And I'm wondering, should I create like an interface and then all the interface? Oh, it's too much. I think that's good enough, right? If I go media here. What do you think? Is it confusing to have like that? Or should I create another folder called interfaces and put all the folder for the interface in there? Or so like it's only here, it look like more, it's not confusing. You cannot think that media is an interface. Oh, like it's clear enough. I think it's clear enough. I don't want to add too much level. We can always change the structure later anyway. Cool, so now we need to add an image here. I thought I had one. I'll do a screenshot. I need to close this. Excellent. That's the test 27, 24. Though I think the key changed. So let's go in the portal. Let's go in private mode for now. Hey, this is my new view. That's funny. I have some fancy background running here. My green screen is taken. That's cool. Yeah. A little bit of behind the scene. Portal.azure.com doesn't respond. Come on, I know you can do it. Oh. I create a dashboard and I really don't like dashboards. They make me do a click. One more click. Oh, I could have done that through the Visual Studio Code, I think. After that, I will do it. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm getting the URL from the Azure Function, and I thought I think I could do that through the Visual Studio Code. So we'll try after. I will get it, so I'm sure I have it, and then I will put in Postman, and we'll work. Copy paste. Okay, so that's working. It's partially display. Take the screenshot and let's come back to working mode. Okay, so let's try to see if with the Azure extension, if I expand this, oh, that's not the good subscription. I'm not even in the good subscription. Forget about it. I don't want to spend too much time on it. What I want to do though is add my screenshot. So I took a screenshot. I will blur the URL, though I totally trust you guys, but you know. Like that. So now we'll save this, saying Postman create short URL. Hey, Michael Jolie, bonjour. The bald bearder builder, how are you, my friend? I didn't listen and didn't watch completely, but I saw you give your check. I saw a video on Twitter. How was it? Take the floor, tell us. Though you may keep the surprise for your stream though. But yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it was great. Oh, I'm so happy for you, man. I was like, the feeling like giving that big amount, I'm super thrilled. I was thrilled for you, like very, very happy. So admin tool, media, so that's my thing here, boom, voila. Now I can refer to it. Can I just drag and drop like this? No. I thought. Oh yeah, should make it smaller though. Let's image resize 400. Yeah, just want people to have a glimpse. So now if I do this, yeah. So now you have Postman, blah 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 blah. Okay, cool. Cool. So in Postman. Oh, am I? No, okay. In Postman, we'll need to add a source. We don't have a source for Postman, so that's a little bit different. But we'll need another README in Postman explaining all the steps. So it will be in Postman / readme.md. Right. Okay, so that's good. Did I close the page? Yes, I did. So let's copy that, go in Postman. Can I paste it? Yeah, cool. So Postman is an API testing tool, so there is no deployment. To get this tool, to get it, go to Postman, Putman, the Putman tool, Postman website. And we'll make that full section here a link. Voila. Now we just need, I think it's get Postman, the link. If I can spell it correctly. No? It's Postman? Oh, it is. Postman.com. Voila. I think if I start doing the uppercase thing, I will need to do it everywhere. So create a short link. List all links, all URLs. Test. Well, to test you just need to test it, right? And then at the end I would like to have encounter. Oh yeah, okay. I don't have any code for that one, so we'll delete this. Oh, I should have done, damn it. New branch. New branch from master. Whoops. I want to create a new branch. I think that will be my first time using the stash thing, whatever. So if I do that, I have all those files. But now I'm super worried. So what I will do, I will just you know when the guy never did use that? so bad. Okay, so dev, GitHub, Boucher, Azure Url Shortener, and src, and it's the admin tool I want. There's the first time to everything. Okay, so those are my changes, right? It's Postman, cool. So now if I stash that, now they're gone, right? So I could switch back to master. Yeah. And now I could create a new branch from master. And we'll call that feature interface. Interfaces. And now I could pop my change, right? Go here and do pop. You have uncommitted change. Are you sure you want? Yeah. Pop. Yes. Cool. It worked. So now I'm in the feature interface branch. That was easy. That was easy. When you're using the good tool. Oh, I'm frozen again. I'm frozen again. Dang it. Like, what's happening? Why it's frozen? Oh, you know what? I know why. I think I know why. I change. Ah, so it's... Okay. I'm sorry about that. Am I back? Nope. Yes, now I'm back. Sorry about that. So I'm using my Fujifilm X-T2, and I use the Elgato USB key to grab that signal. And yesterday I tried to move things around, and the cable was a little bit at the end of his reach. So I just tried to plug USB to another place, and I think that USB hub or something is not the best one. And now it makes sense, because sometimes I'm doing nothing and suddenly I hear you know, the sound that does the USB unplug and plug. So I think that USB hub is not good. Like, there's no touching. Like, I'm standing right now and it's under my desk. So it's not because, you know, tension or anything. It doesn't really move. So maybe because it's getting warm, or I don't know, but okay, so I think I already add some explanation here, so I want to grab all of that here. Okay, so now we are in the section where we describe how to create a short URL. So in Postman, use the URL from the URL Shortener Azure function, set the request to post. In the body of the request, add the JSON document containing the property below. See the example below to create a short generic URL. If you prefer, you can pass vanity, and we'll make it vanity to have control on the end part of the URL. Call Postman is send. And now we should be able to reuse the same image I want it bigger this time. So how big was it initially? So resize 900, let's say 800 should be big enough. Save that. Should be able to just take this one. Cool. So now we have a little bit of documentation, so deployment, blah, 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 how to use it, create a short URL, you do this and that and blah, the result is this, and list all URL. I will add more, and since that the only functionality right now, that will be it, and we'll be able to add the other tools. Cool. Okay. Where I am. Boom. List all URL. So in Postman, use the URL for the function, and it was the function URL list. List, set the function to get. No body content is required for this request. Oh, Weaver, make sure the URL contains the key, security token. And I want to do an example of that. Let's go in Postman, and it was I'm frozen again. Sorry about that. Oh, and I'm dropping frame 2. Sorry about that. I'm dropping frame apparently. I think that's good enough for the Postman interface. Do I need a screenshot? Let's do a screenshot of that. Now we'll blur. We'll blur that part. And what I will do is I will make sure it's clear that you have the code. URL list. Dropping frames seriously, right? I don't know how to not drop frame. I will need to start using the cache thing, I think. Can I image resize? I want the width to be 800 pixel. Cool. So now I should be able to add that. Where is it? URL list. Cool. I think we have something. So that's sad, it's lagging so much. Cool, at least we have a Postman, now it's done. Now we add how to add interface. You can create one in your favorite language and add it to the list. Is there a way to do tree? Like see the tree view and oh, there is. Cool. Okay, so CD. I want to go in SRC, I want to go in admin tools, no, I want to go in SRC. So we need make sure your README contains the detailed deployment step. I should utilization steps guide. Use screenshot. When possible. And how to configure it. What's missing? Any thoughts? I'm still frozen? No, I'm not frozen. I'm alive! I'm alive! I'm alive, but I'm not strong. Oh, come on.
Come on now! Don't drop the banana! Why not? Good source of potassium!
Okay! It's going good, TB Gamer. Like, I have a lot of information now to add interface, so I think it will be a little bit clear for people. I'm just trying to struggle if I go over step and say, okay, fork, do a branch, and blah blah blah, or just do a do a pull request with this structure. Format and not the requirement, but it is the requirement. I just don't want to the format, so everybody have the best experience possible. add. Make sure you add a short description So what do we have? I have my Blazor. No. I have media. I have Postman. Excellent. Cool, so now I have that in GitHub. So we'll merge that to master. Great. So now if I return, oh yeah, I didn't clean the main page. Damn it. Now in this RC, I have the admin tool. So I just need to clean the... I should do it in master then. No, I should do it in this thing. So in the main README, close this. There is many different ways to manage your short URLs. Let's just kind of copy what I wrote here. There is many different ways to call those yeah, let's do from a direct call to a fancy website. Donc c'est dans admin tools / readme .md. Right, admin tool, yeah. Nope. Oh, src. Cool. And one thing here, admin tool. So that works. Can I change? I think I can do that. Can I? Yeah, cool. Should have another pull request. We'll merge it. And I'm dropping tons of frames. Dang it. Cool. Whoops. So now I would like to push master here. Can I rename? Okay, let's delete that branch. Now if I try to push, cool. Yes. Cool. So now I need to create the same structure. So I said src. I need to move that there. I need to have media. New file readme. So that followed the new structure, right? Though my readme is empty. Let's just add a few stuff in it. So let's take an example at Postman. No. Right. Okay, so that's not bad. Now if I go back in here, Let's stage everything, and now let's just, so this thing, no, I don't want to track it. Source, VS Code, yeah. Area, data, page, properties, shared. That's all good. There's one thing, though it's a project feature, and now I'm pushing it. Okay, so that's good enough. So we'll cool. So now I have stuff in the thing. We should go back in the to-do. We had in progress, list the available interface, that's done. Move postman example, that's done. Provide an interface, that's done. Refer, that's done. So it's all done. Yay! That's cool. So this can be moved here. We also did that. So I should make it here and make it there. Cool. We're getting structure as we advance. I like it. So now at least if you are faster than I am, that's not hard to accomplish. You now have a place to get started and create your own stuff. Right? You arrive here, you say, oh, how to use it. Get the complete list. Cool. Now you have Postman, blah blah blah. And if you want to see an example, maybe you are aware of that project, you could go see the interface, blah blah blah. I should delete the feature interface and feature. Yes, I should delete the others. So let's go in. Where did I see the branches? Branches. I should delete this one, it was merge. This one, it was merge. I want to keep binding because that's the new version. That's cool. Awesome. Yay. Okay, so now it's raid time. Oh, 4 people. That will be a very, very tiny raid. Probably because I had so many issues. So you know what? I won't raid anybody because I had a lot of issues. Looking forward to see you on the next Wednesday, where we'll see, maybe during the weekend you did create a new interface. That would be super cool. PR are open, of course, and otherwise we'll finish our stuff. So thank you, TBD Gamer. Have a good weekend too, and take care. Bye.